APM. We have Divya Didi. She's at Flipkart APM. And we have Vidya Bhushan Bhaiya, who is at Zoopy Founders Office role. Yeah. So, Bhaiya, I would like you to, introduce, if you want to say something, I would like you to say something before we start. Anyone?
Yeah, I think hi everyone. Like we are also excited like you. So you can continue your thought. Like
Yeah, thank you. So let's get on to the session.
Divya, if you want to say anything.
Sorry.
नहीं, I guess you can continue. Hello, let's have some अच्छा सा chit chat session.
Yeah, guys, I'll just dive right into it. I'm not sure how I can help, but I'll try my best. You can hear me, right?
Surely. We'll figure it out how you can help by the end. You will figure it out. We know how you can help.
My earphones aren't working, so I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's get on. I think Divya Didi, would you like to say something? Everyone has said something. You also.
Would love to see how this session goes. Waiting for it.
Very structured thoughts, I see.
Yeah, single campus here.
All right, let's go ahead now, guys. So yeah, so first of all, I would like to really know how is your time going in your organizations? I hope everyone has joined. If not, then I'm sorry I got this question. But how is your time going and how is it different from the campus?
Yeah, so I've been working for the last couple of months, and this weekend specifically, I'm back home at Chennai, and I slept 12 hours last night, and I could not be more happy. भाई 3 महीने हो गए इतने देर सोते हुए. That's how it's going for me, but I love my job in all honesty.
That's great.
यार मेरे साथ तो अभी सिर्फ 2 हफ्ते हुए. So the first week was induction और induction के activities थे. So the activities were pretty fun. And the second week I am facing the consequences of those activities. Like so I have been a little more frank with my managers in those activity times, and so they are giving me थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा work than it is expected in the second week. So this is how my time is going.
So I will complete my second month in next 1-2 days. So I would say like मेरे पास थोड़ा आ गया है कि क्या कर रहे हैं. Cool. So at bigger picture, I would say I'm loving my job. काफी मजेदार काम है यहाँ पे, and literally like Jupi as an organization is like जब placement session में आई थी, they literally defined their company as a neuroscience company, not a gaming company. So this was the vision that's why we joined. तो ये वाला vision ना काफी exciting है, and whatever we are doing there is like deconstructing everything about human. I would say like everything human into their neurochemicals and neural pathways is like fun. So यहाँ पे हम लोग काफी नई नई चीजों पे काम कर रहे हैं कि what could be the way or maybe next $1 billion company sort of thing. So kind of doing market research वगैरह, kind of breaking or deconstructing different human behavior into like neurochemical level. So ऐसी चीजें हम लोग कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. So it is interesting. काफी मजा आ रहा है. तो फिलहाल तो ऐसे ही 2 महीने जा रहे हैं. Like hoping कुछ अच्छा होगा. About to Divya.
For me, I haven't yet joined, so I'm going on Wednesday to Bangalore. So waiting to join. Yeah.
So all the best for the first week induction.
Dude, I am so excited for this woman to come to Bangalore. You have no idea. कंपनी की इंडक्शन हो रही है कि नहीं मेरे को नहीं पता, बट इसकी बैंगलोर की इंडक्शन होने वाली है मेरी तरफ से.
उत्कर्ष भी बैंगलोर में है ना?
हाँ मैं भी बैंगलोर में हूँ.
Nice. So our next question is कि how much the role is similar to you, like what have you expected from the role and how is it similar to that? For example, it's a like preparing for product management is a like different set of tasks. But like being a PM, you like own the product and know the insights key. How are you building it? So what the differences between the expectations? So like you can just go one by one. So Shridi.
Dude, I would like not a product manager at all. Okay. So I'm probably the worst person to be asking this question, but I mean, as much as like I have amazing PMs working with me, and I can tell you one thing: you're definitely not the owner of the product. Okay, तुम कुछ करना चाहोगे, but reality is you'll have to run multiple reality checks. You'll have to get other stakeholders on board. हमारे कंपनी में एटलीस्ट CEO तक डिसीजन जाती है on like if it's like, so I work at a casual gaming company, so if we have to make a major change in even one of our flows, it's going to affect users real time. It's going to make or break like money for the company, so you can't pull all the strings is what I can tell you.
Didi, we asked you for the first, I mean, we wanted you to go first because it was the most interesting answer you're going to get.
Is it? I don't know. I mean, Utkarsh can confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Utkarsh Priya.
देख like for ownership, work and all, so like I am in a place जो whatever I have thought before placement, I am exactly in that kind of a situation. ठीक है. So particularly at High Labs, what I can say for is कि at least in the APM level also, like 6 months down the line or 7 months down the line, those APMs who are senior to me, I see कि they are having full ownership of the product, whichever they're having full ownership of the clients. So it's a B2B company, so they have to deal with a lot of clients, and whenever while taking decisions, they have to bring different stakeholders on the board. But at least for High Labs, if I am a- i- if the product is at the center and I'm the product person holding that, so at many places my decision would be the last decision to consider, and so the risks and rewards are equally high he- uh, here at High Labs, which would I would say, and exactly this is what I've heard from my senior who is working at High Labs, and that's why uh, everything just matches. It completely fits.
I think it's also dependent a little bit on the company and the organizational structure. So,
Huh.
yeah.
Yes. So basically, what I think is कि if there are a less number of PMs in your company, so the decision hierarchy goes to the top. लेकिन if there are more number of people in the product space itself, so the decision hierarchy goes till the director of product management and उसके नीचे तक ही. So this is what I have thought about.
Agree, like Sri and Utkarsh ने जो भी बताया regarding roles. So basically, जो expectation है role से, it majorly depends on the type of organization, उनका size वगैरह क्या है, and क्योंकि like product management में it's not just a PM role से मिलेगा, it will look like into founders office role या maybe somewhere like some people will join VC firm also, some people will join APM PM. So as a generalist kind of, if I want to give a single name to all this kind of role, so it would be like a generalist role जहाँ पे you have some marketing skill and you have a skill to go deep into some topic and bring some insights and collab with multiple stakeholders to come up with something new, ताकि जो मैनेजमेंट है या जितने सारे स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं उनका बेनिफिट हो सके. सो जनरल वे में यही है. सो एट जूपी it is like a founder's office role, but it is a little bit different from general founder's office role. Generally founder's office role में people like founders have a lot of responsibilities and lot of duties to do, so basically they delegate some of their work to founder's office people to execute. uh, अगर बड़ी कंपनी है और if they hired you for this role, then you will have completely different set of tasks. So it is more related to like if they will give you some topic, maybe relate like reporting to VC or maybe making some financial plan or maybe exploring the new business opportunity in some particular area. In our case at Jupi, they are exploring the new kind of businesses they want to venture into. So our role is more independent. We directly report to Dilseth, that's your like. तो फिलहाल हमारा ऐसे ही काम होता है. So right now we have lot of ownership regarding what we will build, because lot of things are not defined yet. So because like we are working on non-gaming products, so we have actually into gaming, but we are working on non-gaming products. So this is the kind of role we have.
Dude, is
Anything
like
else?
the new tax laws and like RMG going to be affecting
Yes,
you guys?
like ये भी बात करते हैं फिर.
Mana was telling me a couple of weeks ago.
क्या चल रहा है इस
I
कंपनी
would
में?
also like to know about that, Bhaiya.
I don't know like whether we should discuss it here or not. Sri,
Yeah, let's discuss it sometime later.
Yeah,
then.
later,
yes,
not
like
right now.
yes, we can discuss it later.
Yeah, Devadi. You are
Bro, you're muted.
You're right.
I'm sorry. So yeah, so I'm looking forward actually about how the decision making and the ownership would be there in Flipkart. But from what I've heard from seniors and even during the interview, at least for APM level, you get the problem statement of what you have to be solved, and you get the full ownership of the problem statement. So that is what I feel. But looking forward more.
Okay, that sounds really fun, actually. So I would really, I think probably we covered this as well, but still I would like to ask again. What was your first take at this profile? मतलब हर कोई ऐसा होता है. We come and we see that okay, product management, it must be this, but it usually changes a lot. So how have you come across this? What was your first take? How did you actually select this profile, and what is it now?
I think I'll go first. Yep, again, putting a disclaimer, I'm not a PM. But like the way
Okay,
you
I'll just
Arey,
use the product word now instead of PM.
yes, please. No, but I think the way you mentioned it, where you mentioned that there is a discrepancy of what you must have dreamt of and what is the reality, right? I'd like to tell you that I'd like to tell you a way on how to probably reduce that, right? Because that could lead to multiple people of like even having job dissatisfaction. Your day gets din kharab ho jata, all of that, right? So the best way to probably not go through this is just to straight up ask your interviewer, right, at the interview कि तुम्हारी company में क्या कैसा होता है, right? So that your question that you asked right now becomes redundant, right? And that's how you're going to be happy at your job ultimately. Cool. And then you accept or reject the offer based on whether you like the answer or not. That's as simple as that. But like, yeah, answering the actual question, other guys can take it forward.
यार, I guess you asked कि how do we stumbled upon product management? ये question है ना?
And there were actually two questions. One is that how did you stumble upon it, and the other one is what was your first take at product management, and how is it different as well?
मेरे लिए देखो, answers have a lot of filters. So going at the base, सबसे root cause कि why product management or not, ठीक है? So as simple as that, I didn't want to do coding, ठीक है? And I knew कि even if I become a software developer, I'll go to MBA school and then start my career as a consultant or something in finance or product center. तो यहाँ पे फिर IIT BHU के point of view से एक ही चीज बचती है, product. And so that's why नहीं, product and analyst दोनों चीज बचती है. So for analyst, like the money spectrum is थोड़ा सा कम and product side में it is थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा. So that's why when I was making the decision back in my second or third year second semester कि कहाँ जाना है, so I chose product management because of these reasons. उसके बाद जाके आगे पता चला कि product में company नहीं आती है. But
The
till that
funnel.
time,
The funnel of professional decision making.
फनल नहीं
this was
पता तब प्रोडक्ट वाला.
नहीं हम लोग आज जार्गन यूज करना है क्या, इनको परेशान कर दे जार्गन से.
हाँ यार करते हैं ना.
सो ऑनेस्टली यही था मेरा रीजन, और मतलब घुमा फिरा के यही है कि whatever I did for the past 4 years in college is somewhat the same which I am seeing the PMs here do. तो मेरे लिए ज़्यादा उतना disparity नहीं है. It's just कि how I play it out. So
Cool. So I think how I stumbled upon like PM or like founders of a still a mystery for me also, because like so I never thought of like joining a placement. So in my college, actually I was more into like खुद का company बनाना है sort of. So I was already trying with multiple people. So actually I never prepared for like general PM vara role also. So like we have very different kind of practice people do like for PM proper PM placement. वो मैंने नहीं करी थी. It whatever knowledge I have is based on joining multiple boot camps of different organization via being in my startup journey. So majorly काम is वही होता है. So but I had one major advantage is कि like जो भी मैंने सीखा था I had a chance to implement it, like कुछ भी बनाना हो research करना हो ना. So I actually made it and went out to people and started selling something. So this is the kind of story that I had. I think that helped me. So for in my case, like it was more like a experience based story. So which I was selling. So that's how I like college में last semester में I was trying कि कुछ देख लेते हैं join कर लेते हैं, and then eventually I will have 6 months or so to so why I'm telling this story is like one of you might be thinking or might be in the same dilemma, like going into startup या खुद का करना है या job join करने का. So in last semester I decided कि job का देख लेते हैं. I will have 6 month time करने का जो भी करना होगा. So and then I was started preparing थोड़ा था कुछ. Then UP came, so the description was good. कि founders office role, it felt like कि I will get to learn a lot, and also the problem statement was very interesting. Like bring a product which can like give idea of product or like try to design some product which can bring enlightenment to people. It was somewhat similar to like yoga and meditation that we were doing at like MPY. So it was majorly this. तो मैंने अपनी स्टोरी ही बता दी थी इंटरव्यू के दौरान भी. तो मेजरली कहानी यही थी. So I missed your second question, I guess. So that was like how I got into JUP. तो मेरे लिए JUP was not something like बहुत tough सा ऐसा जिसमें prepare करना पड़ा. It was normal talk for me. 2-3 राउंड की इंटरव्यू हुई थी and all the interview round was just normal conversation with them कि मैंने क्या करना अभी तक. Yes. Over to Divya, I guess.
Very swag answer Vidya.
Thanks.
Okay, so how I stumbled upon product was I was initially into entrepreneurship. So my story is kind of reverse of Vidya Bhushan. So I was into entrepreneurship where I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But then while doing the research of if this is the career that I actually wanted, so while doing that, I realized at one point that maybe I don't want everything of an entrepreneur, like the financial risk that includes and other aspects. But I really liked solving a problem and taking ownership for it, which is when I also came across it was when business club orientation was there. So we had product management. So they said CEO of a product, which was kind of resonating with what I had in my mind as an entrepreneur. So I thought, okay, this is something that I really want to do, and that is how I started with product management role. And as Utkarsh said, I also did not see any disparity because when I first heard the CEO of product, it was, and then I read this book of cracking a PM interview. So that kind of gave a lot of information about what exactly the product is. And I did not yet do a complete product role as a job. So hence, I don't see any disparity for now.
Bro, this was your interview answer, no?
I say the truth in interviews also.
we were sitting at 12 a.m. writing all this down. Dude, we should go back and have London Shakes pizza once more. Sorry, on next question, Atar. I hope we've answered your question satisfactorily.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Utkarsh, would you like to go?
Yeah. Hello. So next question is what were the placement procedures of your respective companies in this field? So like all of yours, like the main role of the PM is like differing. So kind of with the Bhushan Bhaiya as the founder's role, Utkarsh Bhaiya as an APM role. So what were the
Hey, sorry,
differences in the
I would like to correct you. It's not a founder's role. It's founder's office executive.
office role? Yeah. Yeah, so what were the differences in the placement procedures by all these companies? So
Uh,
Shrivi,
Just one thing, I think let
yeah.
Divya and Utkarsh go first because that might actually be
Hmm.
more valuable information since they're going for a proper PM role.
Yeah.
I think even Vidya Bhushan, he's had for placements that might be helpful. If when I start talking, you guys may choose to drop off. Go on.
यार तो
Yeah.
I would say कि everything was pretty the same. मतलब Zoopy, High Labs and Flipkart और majorly any APM role or any business oriented role which hits the campus has the same hiring procedure. They roll out a deck round. Deck round में they give a problem statement pretty similar. हर किसी का almost same ही होता है. Find a problem, solve it. Flipkart came same. High Labs came almost the same. Added a few more words into that. Zoopy came same. And then there is a first round, second round, third round, and there is a selection hierarchy. मतलब I don't think कि there will be कुछ ज़्यादा difference होगा. Because I have seen all the three processes. अगर मैंने कुछ miss किया तो दिव्या और विद्या can add it.
Yeah, so something slightly different in the deck making of these three things is that uh, for the High Labs it's a more specific problem statement, and for Flipkart it's kind of like an open-ended problem statement. So that is like something you have to figure out what exactly are you going to solve, and that itself took a lot of days for me at least personally to pivot to a particular problem. And I guess Zoopy was also slightly open-ended. I think Vidya Bhushan can add more on to it.
Yes, Jupy's like that was also very open-ended, and at the first time it was very vague. Like bring a product which can bring in like design a product which can bring enlightenment to humans, I guess. So it was like very like out of the world statement it was. So like for overall process, I would say like जितने भी PM के लिए आते हैं दो टाइप की कंपनी होती है. One is like will give you a deck, and few companies will have the placement test वगैरह. It is more like analyst, if I'm not wrong. Utkarsh or Divya can confirm. तो कुछ के टेस्ट होंगे एक्चुअली. So I was like कि बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम मुझे वेस्ट नहीं करना है इन डेक मेकिंग वगैरह, थोड़ा आलसी बना सा. तो मैंने ज़्यादा डेक मेकिंग वाले में पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किया था. इट टेक्स टाइम समटाइम. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि कुछ जैसे कि ओपन एंडेड वाली चीज़ें है ना, कुछ ट्राई टू हैव योर प्रीवियस लाइक उसका कुछ बना के रखो विद सम आइडियाज, एंड इट विल टेक सम टाइम. तो पहले ही जैसे स्टेटमेंट आते हैं स्टार्ट वर्किंग लाइक डू नॉट लाइक टालते मत रहो बनाने के लिए कि बना लेंगे अदरवाइज व्हाट यू विल डू इज लाइक यू विल स्टार्ट मेकिंग डेक इन लास्ट डे. सो इवन यूपी के डेक में भी लाइक आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग एट लास्ट डे मोमेंट सॉर्ट. तो वो वाला काम मत करो आई वुड से. ओवरऑल आई थिंक we pretty covered like what is the exact procedure. So first round is making a deck अगर deck वाली कंपनी है तो, and then based on the deck they will select some people, and then they will have probably 2 or 3 round of interviews.
Bhaiya, you said that you should last day tak mat talo, but you said that you were preparing for the Zoopy deck on the last day. So you are a positive example. So it is contradicting with us.
See, so I am telling you what you should not do.
Because गलती करी उसने.
नहीं, अगर गलती करके हम जा रहे होंगे ऐसी जगह तो फिर तो गलती करना सही है ना.
It doesn't work out for everybody, na?
Yes, actually what happens like जो stress level है ना वो बढ़ जाता है. सो स्ट्रेस लेवल हेल्प्स इन टू वे कि काम जल्दी हो जाता है, कम प्रेस टाइम में हो जाता है, बट इट इज ऑलवेज बेटर इफ यू कैन हैव योर माइंड इन अ मोर रिलैक्स्ड वे एंड ज़्यादा सोच पाओ चीज़ों को करने के लिए. सो आई वुड से ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने लास्ट डे पे ही बना था. आई यूज द प्रीवियस टाइम टू कलेक्ट डॉट्स एंड लास्ट डे पे मैंने डॉट्स कनेक्ट किया एंड इट वाज नॉट लाइक कंप्लीटली उस डे पे. आई वुड से कि इट्स ऑलवेज बेटर टू हैव 2-3 आइटरेशन जो पहले कर लो तो मेंटल पीस आ जाएगा थोड़ा.
Okay, I'm not sure if I can answer your question to the point. I think I can add a few more points on the deck making aspect of it, but I will give you an overview of what I did, right? So I got my job off campus. So every internship, every job interview that I've given has been through off campus. How to get an off campus interview, totally different question. I won't cover it here. But usually, at least for like a design role similar to PM, they'll give you first call hoga. At least off campus mein to they don't really know the candidate yet. So there'll be like a HR call. They'll call you at random times. I've had to take interviews even from like LC, right? So they'll call you up, and then that's just basically a call to ask you ki actual interview kab set karni hai. Right, so they'll do that, and then the first interview will just be like for me it's more like a portfolio presentation round. It's essentially very similar to a resume round in a general technical interview, I'd say. After that, they'll, depending on whether the company's procedure, they'll either have another similar round with the someone who's more higher up, or they'll give you a take home task, which is again similar product design statement. But what they look for in a product designer is very different from what they look for in a PM, right? What they look for, these guys can give you a better idea, but simple tips to make your deck making process much easier is that work on multiple other decks before, try to do some personal projects or something, so that you have a template of, so that you find your own process of how you go about solving things, and so that you have a template for those process also, right? So in my case, I have like 3-4 decks where I have some place where I do a user journey mapping, or some other place where I do like a just stating my timeline. तो इसके लिए मेरे पास ऑलरेडी डिजाइंड वाला स्लाइड्स है, तो मैं वो उठा के डाल सकती हूँ. These actually cut down on a lot of your slide making time. So if you can do that by doing your personal project, when you have that 2-day 3-day sprint that you have to run to actually get a job, it will make your life a lot more easier.
Yeah, sounds really nice. Everyone has a very amazing journey. So, as you mentioned, there are 2 questions which I have on that. One, ये बहुत लोगों को आएगा, how much does CPI matter in this? And दूसरा, what is the split between the companies जो deck aptitude and test जो conduct करती है? I mean, there are some companies hiring for product analysts as well. So, how is the split in those?
Divya, you want to take this?
Sorry, the second question that you asked, what exactly was it?
It was what is the split between the companies taking decks and taking tests, and the main question was, does CPI matter? वरना दूसरा question तो कुछ matter करेगा ही नहीं.
Okay, so firstly, talking about Flipkart doesn't have any CPI criteria, right? And a few companies do have criteria which says above 8, and few have above 6. So few companies do have criteria, but I think mostly top companies do not have CPI criteria, if I'm not wrong. You others can correct me if I'm telling anything wrong. And for the split, I think again the major companies for the APM role comes for the deck mostly. Say High Labs, Flipkart, then Urban Health, and then there is a few others which came for deck round. And there are few companies which has PA roles, and even few APMs which has the test which has the quant part, right? If you want me to tell the percentage, I would say maybe 60-40. I'm not exactly sure about the exact percentage, but yeah.
Pretty much covered. मतलब कि ऐसा ही होता है. APM roles के लिए majorly जो company आती है वो deck ही लेती है. Last year एक आई थी which was AI Dash, जो मतलब आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द कंसिडरेबल कंपनीज एटलीस्ट, तो AI Dash वाज ओनली द वन ऑफ द कंपनी जो कि टेस्ट ली थी, ठीक है, एप्टीट्यूड और प्रोडक्ट का मिक्स का टेस्ट, बेसिकली एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट ही था वो। रिमेनिंग प्रोडक्ट एनालिस्ट के लिए कोई कंपनी डेक नहीं लेती। देयर केम वन स्टार्टअप विच वाज 1K समथिंग, वो कुछ किराना, 1K किराना, तो उसने प्रोडक्ट एनालिस्ट के लिए डेक लिया था, विच इज लाइक टू मच। मतलब प्रोडक्ट एनालिस्ट के लिए डेक लेना डज नॉट मेक्स मच ऑफ अ सेंस, ठीक है। सो ऐसा मान कर रखो, अगर एपीएम के लिए कोई कंपनी आएगी लेजिट जो लेके जाएगी वो डेक ही लेगी, और प्रोडक्ट एनालिस्ट के लिए जो लेजिट कंपनी आएगी जो लेके जाएगी वो एप्टीट्यूड ही लेगी, उसके अलावा कोई देयर इज नो इफ्स एंड बट्स। और सीपीआई आई डोंट थिंक मैटर करता है, मतलब पता नहीं हाईलाइट्स में कुछ लोग बोल रहे थे सीपीआई शायद कुछ लोग कटा था सीपीआई के लिए, लेकिन आई डोंट थिंक उतना होता है। 8 के ऊपर है तो सब चिल है, 7-8 के ऊपर है तो सब सही है।
आई गेस एक फार्मेसी रिलेटेड कोई कंपनी थी जिसका 8 या 8.5 और 9 कुछ था सीपीआई, आई गेस।
अरे
अदरवाइज
तो उस
Like
कंपनी में
one
मत
or
अप्लाई
two
कर यार।
हाँ यस, चिल
9
है।
के ऊपर है तो मत कर।
ओके,
नेक्स्ट
ठीक है,
क्वेश्चन पे
तो
चलते
हाँ हाँ ठीक है। So most of you did the like internship in this field prior to the placement season. So what do you think how much these interns matter like while the placement, like during the interviews, do your like resume get like spotlight while you have listed some like amazing interns in your resume?
सो आई वुड से कि देखो, इफ देयर इज अ रेज्यूमे शॉर्टलिस्टिंग राउंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, तो ही ये मैटर करेगा, अदरवाइज इट मैटर ही नहीं करेगा, ठीक है। सो if it is a resume shortlisting round, so your resume must have something known as spikes. तो हर सेक्शन का कोई ना कोई स्पाइक होना चाहिए, इंटर्नशिप का भी, प्रोजेक्ट का भी, अचीवमेंट्स का भी, सीपीआई का भी, हर में अगर देयर इज अ स्पाइक, तो जो रेज्यूमे लाइक अ पर्सन हु कैन सी लाइक 10 रेज्यूमेज इन अ मिनट, वो तुम्हारे रेज्यूमे को देखते पहचान जाएगा कि यार इसमें स्पाइक्स है, उसको अलग कर लेगा, यू आर शॉर्टलिस्टेड, ठीक है। उतना कोई पढ़ता नहीं है ध्यान से, बट डेफिनेटली अगर रेज्यूमे शॉर्टलिस्टिंग हो रही है एंड इट इज अ प्रोडक्ट रोल, देन only till the resume round, only till the resume round I think कि internships matter, only till that. लेकिन उसके बाद during the internship process if the person asks कि तुम्हारा internship का experience कैसा था, then also I don't think it matters a lot, क्योंकि during the interviews you are mostly asked, like in the APM roles at least, you are asked about your experience, number one, and number two, case studies, ठीक है। तो if you are going to do well in both of them, तो उतना ज़्यादा internships matter नहीं करता, at least particularly for high labs। पूरे इंटरव्यू राउंड में और पूरे प्रोसेस में इन जनरल ये सब चीज़ें कहीं नहीं पूछी थी, तो कोई किसी ने नहीं पूछा था मेरा पास्ट इंटरव्यू सॉरी इंटर्नशिप एक्सपीरियंस कहाँ था या ऐसा कुछ भी। देयर वाज ओनली केस स्टडीज, यू हैव टू सॉल्व देम एंड यू विल गेट हायर्ड। दिव्या।
Yeah, I'll go next. Yeah. So I think, as Utkar said, only till resume round some of it matters. And even for Flipkart during the interview round, I was just asked as a HR question of how my internship experience was. So I kind of framed in a way that it helped me have a data oriented approach, even if I want to do the PM role, right? So that was the only thing that came from my internship. Otherwise, nothing was asked, and only case study was asked. So I was asked to present one of the case study from start to end. So that was mostly it. Internship doesn't matter much in the interview processes.
I think I'm not qualified to answer this.
Yeah, even neither am I. I'm not really sure because for me, my internship work was almost everything. Because as I mentioned, when I present my portfolio, right? So I have a portfolio where I have a few case studies of whatever I worked on during my internship. That is my whole portfolio. And for a design role, they would prefer to look at something that you're done professionally, so that they can also gauge how your designs had impacted the metrics and all of that, right? As opposed to like a personal project. So in my interviews, I usually throw in a good mix of whatever I did at my internship at Razorpay and like a personal project that I really like. That's about it.
हाँ, so just adding one last point. So like whatever me and Divya are talking about is on campus placements, ठीक है।
Right.
Off campus placements is a totally different ball game, ठीक है। उसमें your resume matters a lot, past experience matters a lot, portfolio matters a lot. So whenever I used to apply for off campus when I was in third year or so, तो वहाँ पे मैं सबसे पहला लिंक अपना portfolio link के डालता था, and because this session is mostly concerned about on campus placement, so my answers will be only focused for on campus placements.
Yeah, sounds perfect. Yeah, so थोड़ा बहुत resume का we would also like to know further. Uh, what kind of projects are, I mean, preferred that we can put in them, and how do those PORs, achievements, extracurricular, etc., they matter, and what kind of them are actually preferable?
अगेन अ ब्लंट आंसर कि देख, अगर इंटर्नशिप मैटर नहीं कर रहा है तो पीओआर अचीवमेंट्स भी उतना मैटर नहीं करना चाहिए, एंड सेम गोज फॉर प्रोजेक्ट्स. ठीक है, प्रोजेक्ट सेक्शन देख, अब देख सिंपल सा है. Whenever you'll go inside an interview, these things only matter if there is a resume shortlisting round. And believe me, जो company hire करके fire नहीं करने वाली है या lay off नहीं करने वाली है, they are not concerned about your resume. They will take a deck round. Next round will be a product round. Next round will be a product round, and next round will be a HR round. ठीक है, तो रेज्यूमे से उतना कोई ज्यादा लोड नहीं है. अब इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि खाली पेपर ही जमा कर दो कि कुछ ही नहीं भरना है. ठीक है, so देख, no one can change your POR, so write whatever you have. Internships, no one can change it, so write whatever you have. Projects में I can tell you about ki what I did. So basically when I was applying for high labs is a tech PM role. So or tech maybe they want more data oriented things, so I included a machine learning.
I guess he got disconnected. Is he audible? No, no. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Utkarsh.
Utkarsh, yeah, please repeat your answer once. Your
कहाँ
connection
तक
got lost.
सुन लिए थे? हाँ, कहाँ
We
तक
heard
सुन
the
लिए?
machine learning.
ML के project तक.
हाँ, सो वन प्रोजेक्ट वाज क्रेडिट कार्ड फ्रॉड डिटेक्शन. वो हर कोई डालता है, एनालिस्ट हो, पीएम हो, कुछ भी, वो सब में डलना है, वो चीज़ वो डलता ही है. एंड सेकंड वन वाज कि आई डिड अ स्टार्टअप व्हेन आई वाज इन कॉलेज. वो बीटा टेस्टिंग राउंड तक ही चला गया था, बट हैड सम गुड एक्कोलेट्स, सो उसको मैंने डाल दिया था, जस्ट शोइंग कि मेरे को टेक भी आता है एंड मेरे को.
Okay, we'll just move on. Okay. So, Divya ji.
Okay. So, for me, I think I didn't have a big POR, like how you used to say, being like, let's say in third year you have a POR which is more, what to say, which has more power, right? So I didn't have such POR. So for me, they usually say that you need to have equal percentage of projects, internships, and POR. But that was not the case for me in my resume. I had a lot of projects and very less POR and only one internship. So that was how my resume was. So according to me, POR doesn't matter at all. Anywhere in my interview or in the resume selection process, I was held back because of my POR. So that is first thing. And second thing, in terms of projects, so I had a mix of what is it, consulting projects, and then there was a product, core product related case studies, and then there was one data analysis, which was basically analyzing e-commerce data in the Excel. So these were the major projects that I had. So I made it in such a way that I had a data oriented take and a product one, and also when I mean product, it is product design sort of a case study. And then there was one of my inter IIT project, which was, I felt like that the solutions were very impactful, and hence I wanted to showcase that project. And then there was one more project which was where I worked in a startup through Share. So these were all my major projects, right? So I had a consulting projects and a product related, and then a data related projects. So these were my projects.
Cool. I would suggest just like all the people who wants to prepare the best or like excellent resume. So just have a basic understanding of how like resume help their seniors, and also like do not blindly follow any like rule or any guideline or any template of the resume, because everyone have a very different journey. So I will tell
Bro,
you like
star
what
format.
yes.
Star format. That helps. That actually helps.
Yes, I guess. Like I just want to say, like, understand the intent of the resume, then you can design it in a better way. So I think from my personal view, a resume is something you give to interviewer to like give them something to talk about yourself. Like उनके पास ना कुछ कंटेंट होता है जिसके कारण वो इनिशिएट कर सकते हैं कन्वर्सेशन, बिकॉज लाइक whenever people are like in a conversation, they if they have no context of who you are, so what exactly he will ask. So just to guide them कि क्या मुझसे पूछा जाए, we prepare resume. So whenever you want someone to have a best impression of you, you would like to like highlight best part of you, क्योंकि तुम उसमें कॉन्फिडेंट रहोगे कि इसके बारे में जब भी बातचीत होगी आई विल नेल इट, राइट? सो डिजाइन योर रेज्यूमे अकॉर्डिंगली टू दैट, लाइक कि जो पोर्शन में व्हाट यू वांट टू हाईलाइट एंड हाउ एग्जैक्टली यू वांट टू पोजीशन इट. So position it in a way so that like whenever like interviewer is having your resume and he want to start any conversation, you will be already like you are already confident about all this story behind this, so you will nail the story. So this is general I would say guideline दिमाग में रखना चाहिए तुम लोगों को, ताकि you will have like जैसे कि if you have multiple projects तो कौन सा डालूं नहीं डालूं, if you have consulting related, if you have anything, या फिर पीआर में भी कि पीआर में भी 4-5 आ गए किसी को, या कई हमारी टाइम प्रॉब्लम होती थी कि लोगों ने बहुत ही तोड़-फोड़ मचा रखी है, 10-10 उन्होंने कुछ कुछ प्राइज जीत के रखी है, क्या डाले वो परेशान हो रहे हैं. So I would say like use that particular like achievement or that particular project जिसमें confident हो, you have very confident story to tell. Do this. In my case, like, major like conversation was based on my resume का जो भी मैंने projects वगैरह डाल रखे थे कि ये मैंने करा है. So they were interested कि यार ये क्या किया है तूने कुछ अच्छा सा. तो I was very much confident in that. So for me it was like whenever I was telling a story, it was with the glow कि I have that glow while like जब मैं narrate कर रहा हूँ story. So it really helped them to get a first impression. Cool. How about you, Sri?
Few points that I guess these guys did not cover. First one was the when Vidya was talking about कौन सी achievement डालनी है, कौन सी POR enter अगर ज़्यादा कर रखी है तो I'd say first read the job description and then tailor your resume according to that, right? I think you guys get some 10 resumes that you can make. So make like a master resume and then tailor your resume according to the company. In general, also for a product role, I recommend using product jargon as much as you can in your resume as much as possible. What are product jargon? एक intern करो समझ में आएगा.
श्री हाउ विल दे डू इंटर्न अभी? अब तो प्लेसमेंट आ गया है.
हाँ मतलब कर रखे होंगे ना, then they should know already.
If you do not know, ask your friends. Like
Yeah, dude, that's about it. ये तो chat GPT कर लो यार, तुम्हारे पास chat GPT है अब तो, हमारे पास नहीं थी तब.
Okay, so next question is, how did you prepare for the case interview questions that were asked in your interviews? Like any product design questions, या फिर any RCA or market strategy questions? So, Utkarsh, yeah.
यार देखो, one thing like which the question focuses about ki how like we prepared. So one thing which I would like to tell is ki only prepare for product interviews only after you have at least one shortlist for APM. ठीक है, क्योंकि इस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे काफी सारे जूनियर्स मुझे कांटेक्ट करते हैं एंड दे आस्क अबाउट कि हाँ ये सोर्स अच्छा है कि नहीं यार, ये अच्छा है कि नहीं. ठीक है, बट द पॉइंट इज कि यू डोंट नो कि इस साल कोई एपीएम कंपनी आएगी भी कि नहीं. ठीक है, एवरी ईयर इज अ डिफरेंट ईयर. ठीक है, तो वन ऑफ द एडवाइस व्हिच वाज गिवन टू मी बाय वन ऑफ माय सीनियर्स वाज कि इस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे जहां पे अभी तुम लोग करेंटली स्टैंड करते हो, डोंट स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर इंटरव्यूज. ठीक है, इंटरव्यू इज अ लाइक 1 month गेम, वहां पे यू कैन जस्ट नेल इट. तो उस 1 month के लिए मैं बता रहा हूँ, अभी जो मैं बताऊंगा अभी से स्टार्ट मत कर देना. ठीक है, So coming back to the question कि interview, product interview. So देखो product interview में in any APM company for APM round you have uh, prominently two types of question. First is root cause analysis and second is product design. ठीक है. The sidelines are guesstimates. जो मार्केट एंट्री स्ट्रैटेजी पूछा वो सब बिजनेस एनालिस्ट में आता है, बट प्रोडक्ट में सिर्फ दो ही आता है, रूट कॉज एनालिसिस एंड प्रोडक्ट इंप्रूवमेंट. ठीक है. प्रोडक्ट इंप्रूवमेंट, प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन, दोनों के लिए if you want to prepare, there is a website known as pmexercises.com. वहां पे there are a lot of P2P questions. P2P मतलब peer to peer लिखे हुए, खुद से लिखते हैं लोग, उसको पढ़ते हैं, फिर खुद से उसको रिव्यू करते हैं ऑल. तो वो तुम लोग कर सकते हो. नंबर वन. उसके फ्रेमवर्क्स कहाँ से मिलेंगे, क्योंकि फ्रेमवर्क्स खोजना इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट काम जो कि प्रोडक्ट में होता है. सो तुमको उसी वेबसाइट पे तुमको बहुत सारे फ्रेमवर्क मिल जाएंगे. एंड द एंड गोल शुड बी कि आफ्टर लाइक 10-15 रीडिंग दैट वहां पे तुम खुद से अपना एक फ्रेमवर्क बना लो. देन कम्स द सेकंड स्टेप कि तुम अपने किसी टीयर्स को पकड़ के मॉक्स ले लो. एंड द थर्ड स्टेप इज कि तुम अपने किसी 3 या 4 सीनियर्स को पकड़ के उनसे मॉक ले लो. एंड एक फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म रखो कि पहले इंटरव्यू से दूसरे इंटरव्यू के बीच में एक फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म है, तुम उस मैकेनिज्म पे काम कर रहे हो और इम्प्रूव करते जा रहे हो. सो दिस इज ओवरऑल. ठीक है. सो आई गेस आई हैव कवर्ड की द टाइप ऑफ केसेस फ्रॉम वेयर यू हैव टू स्टडी एंड हाउ यू हैव टू स्टडी.
Okay, I'll add on to it, Chris. So as he said, there are major two types of question, which is RC and product improvement / design, and there's also metric type of question which are getting popular nowadays. So metrics also, they are framing it as a separate question. Usually it used to come as a part of product design, now being asked as a separate questions. So yeah, that being said, interview practice is more like a nailing the interview is more like a how much of a practice you are giving, that much good you would become, right? And it is like a sprint where you do in the last few. I actually started very late, like after my shortlist came, which was around November 2nd week, and from then on till the last of November. So I just had like 20 to 25 days max, right? So in those times you give daily interviews, 3 to 4 interviews. So when you do that, and also as Utkal said, the feedback mechanism is very important. Get feedback everywhere and also analyze on your own. So that is more important. After giving, if you're in a day, you're giving 3 to 4 interviews. At the end of the day, sit and analyze what mistakes you have done. If you have taken different approach, then how would you have come to the end point, right? And that will actually help you iterate the framework that you initially made. So like for me, initially the first few RCAs that I did was based on someone else's framework, and then after analyzing on my own, I made some changes and accordingly had my own framework which I was comfortable with, right? So that is very important. And so yeah, this is it.
Yeah, so there's a question from my chat. Please recommend some sources where we can learn how to create some good PM decks. So ऐसे कुछ sources बता दीजिए कि from where they can just take the inspiration कि deck कैसे बनाए.
Okay, I'll go first. So there is this link from Doraemon Den, which has a curated list of selected Flipkart decks versus non-selected decks. That has like a very good, awesome decks there. That is one thing. And there is also PM School ebooks, which is there 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can take inspiration from there. So in that, I would say do not follow it as it is, because some of them doesn't have like a very good aesthetically, you can say, made things. So but you can definitely take few very good things, and also you can go over to LinkedIn and search upon what to say, next leap graduation projects, or like there are decks released in LinkedIn. So many decks are there, so basically you can go.
So
How
I'd
to
like to
improve your deck aesthetically? Find a designer friend.
Thanks.
so I'll just build upon
Aesthetic one,
Divya's
I was
answer.
so because continue. I'll just like
हाँ, I'll just build upon Divya's answer. So basically Divya suggested a couple of sources. जैसे Doraemon 10 का एक वो आता है Flipkart का वैसा, फिर PM School का एक आता है कि उन्होंने winners competition किया तो विनर्स डेक होता है, ठीक है. सो जब डोरेमोन डेन का डेक केम टू मी, ठीक है, वो डेक का सेट, देन आई वाज जस्ट सीइंग एट द डेक एंड आई वाज जस्ट डम्बस्ट्रक कि यार ये आइडिया कैसे सेलेक्ट हो सकता है, ये तो डिजाइन भी गंदा करके आया है, ठीक है. ये आइडिया तो हमारा चाय वाला करता है, वो तो किराना वाला करता है, कैसे सेलेक्ट हो गया, ठीक है. तो वो मेरे लिए बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग हो जाता था कि यार फ्लिपकार्ट वाले सेलेक्ट कैसे कर रहे हैं, या फिर कोई भी कंपनी सेलेक्ट कैसे कर रही है. फ्लिपकार्ट जस्ट बीइंग एन एग्जांपल, सेम गोस फॉर पीएम स्कूल, वो 100 डेस्क रहते हैं, ठीक है. तो वो कैसे, व्हाट इज गुड और व्हाट इज बैड का डिस्टिंक्शन ही खत्म हो जाता है, ठीक है. सो आई वुड रिकमेंड कि इफ यू वांट सम क्वालिटी डेस्क, ठीक है, लाइक रियल क्वालिटी डेस्क, तो देयर इज वन पर्सन नोन एज हर्षित कृष्ण चौधरी. तो कभी उनके लिंक्डइन पेज पे जाना, he has uploaded a set of decks, 6-7 decks, and that is the best quality decks which I have seen in my मतलब की journey of product management, ठीक है. और उसको बेस बना के मैंने अपने decks बनाए थे, honestly speaking. तो
यार
वहां
उनके
जाके
टेक्स्ट
देख
तुमको
लो.
समझ में आता है क्या? मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया कभी.
That is the reason, मतलब that is the reason कि उनके decks इंटरव्यूअर को भी सोचना पड़ेगा कि साला लिखा क्या है इसने, ठीक है.
I would personally completely go the opposite way and recommend you to go for like simple, understandable solutions, right? And HKC Bhaiya's decks I'd recommend you to follow for the framework. Okay? क्योंकि solution और process तुम्हारा ही होगा और तुम्हारा ही होना चाहिए. That's why you'll
Yeah,
also
even
get
till
hired.
then, I did not understand his tech. I'm still figuring out what has he did.
He didn't get into Flipkart, no, ultimately.
But he got selected in deck round. That
In
is
the
what
deck round, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So, I mean, you can use the decks for framework at least, I'd say. Sorry, Utkarsh, our opinions differ at this point.
अरे नहीं, no issues, मतलब at least for from the way I see it is कि if the interviewer understands it, मतलब we might not be able to understand it, but the interviewer, the PM who is reviewing the deck has seen a lot of world, so might possible that that person is understanding it, and the most important thing is कि that person should understand it, not your
If
friends.
anything, if any of the decks that are posted out there publicly, Flipkart decks, Manav ka utha lo. It also looked, Divya has not posted her deck. I've been pestering her to do so for the past half year. But Manav ka deck was really good, if I remember correctly. Sorry, Utkarsh, I haven't seen your deck, so I can't exactly watch for yours this thing.
नहीं, I have not put it also.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, these were the stuff that you can find publicly at least.
All right. So
Yeah,
one
एक और
question.
चीज, I have just one more question. This is question for Divya and Utkarsh. So when you guys got like shortlisted for companies, you'll at least Flipkart, you get like buddies, no? And you guys can do mock interviews with those buddies and whatnot. Can you just not ask them what is the weightage for solution versus presentation versus thing?
I haven't asked it, but you know, it basically it differs. Like I saw one of the selected deck, which was very bad, so, at least for according to me. But I didn't really know how it got selected. So
Right. So
maybe I'll ask
ideally, you
once
know
it's
what
done.
I would say you do. This is something that we also do a lot in the product world. Is that if you want to get the most simplest, most intuitive solution to something, just ask the user what they would want to do. Right. So the first thing I would have ideally done is if I caught hold of someone from the company where I wanted to work at, I'll find someone at the interviewer level and be like, "Bhai, batao, what do you want to hear from me?" And I've actually done that with someone at Razorpay, right? And do this before you give the interview so that two things, they will also be very keen to know that you're also excited to join them. Secondly, if you have friends or connections pehle se hi, most likely to answer mil jayega, and you can follow that framework to the T, because you know it will work because someone from that company has told you it will work for me.
Insider information.
All right. So there is one question. This, just Sridhi, you were saying this is directly concerned, kind of more concerned to you, obviously concerned to others as well.
Thank you.
What about off-campus placements?
What about off-campus placements? You will not get a job until like March, April. You won't even see a job opening until like late February, March, April. तो stress तो बहुत होने वाली है. Start networking. If you haven't already, if you're in your pre-final year and you're going to sit for placements, then the ship has almost sailed, right? I started my networking when I came to Bangalore last year, 2022, right? So I made friends who can very easily just give me jobs. And that's very important, right? You talk to people. I actually went to like designer meets, whatnot, made friends, not colleagues. And आज भी I have like a lot of friends who send me job openings and whatnot, despite the fact that I'm in a full-time job and working. So that is very important. Networking is very important. Second thing is cold mailing, is networking with people who don't know you. I think I'd taken a separate session on off-campus placements itself. I'm not sure. I mean, any targeted questions that you might have, I don't want to just ramble on. Anyone?
Like for off-campus placements?
Yeah, that's what he asked. I mean, is there anything specific that you want to know?
Matlab, for me,
So,
like,
yeah.
I never sat for off-campus placements, but only off-campus internships. So, बहुत
The
different
process similar
रहता है.
होता है.
मतलब process is similar, but the initial just one step key to reach out is the additional factor. And as Shri mentioned, to have those connections जो तुम्हें referral भी दे सके and secondly जो तुम्हें job भी दे सके. So these are two different things.
And you have to make good enough friends that they'll tell you about openings also, right? So best it is to actually go meet people in person has worked for me best. But I'll tell you like a very off-campus internships and placements, like a very easy way, like the reaching out part is still the same. Most likely you will find a full-time opportunity off campus because that's what they post for on LinkedIn, right? The best thing that you can do is when you connect with someone on LinkedIn, you get a 300 character message. Things to include in that message: hi, what are you, your job description in one line, what have you worked as previously, link to your portfolio, bitly का छोटा सा link करके डालो so that वो 300 characters में आ जाए. सीधा पूछ लो कि I want to know about your company, tell me more, right? Don't ask someone for a referral in the first message. Ask them about their company so that they also get hooked and say that express your willingness to work there. I have always put I'd like to design for so and so company, looking forward to it, tell me more about your company culture, design culture, blah blah blah. And when they reply, ask for a referral. Okay, and you will have to send them the job link also. So
Wait,
you can say that, hey,
ask
yeah,
for
you
a
have to-
referral only if there is a job opening.
yeah, exactly. I mean, if they don't have an opening, sometimes they post without sometimes they don't post for a job opening even if there is one, right? They try to get it through internal referrals only mostly. So it's okay to ask, is there any opening right now? If you do find an opening, hunt somebody down and send them that link of whatever LinkedIn opening that you saw and say that मुझे इस job description के लिए I want a referral. Okay. That is one thing. How many messages do you have to send? I have maxed out my LinkedIn weekly connection requests and all. I think 100 requests भेज सकते हैं ऐसे, right? Do that. Be relentless. You will get less than 10% replies. वो reply में भी शायद 5-10 लोग will be like, हाँ हमारे पास है, right? And then conversion rate from that to like actually clearing the interview is worse. So it'll be a joyride, guys.
It sounds like the funnel which Utkarsh Bhaiya told in the beginning.
Dude,
हाँ,
it's
मतलब-
worse than a funnel, dude. This is like RO purification, dude. It's not even a funnel.
So there is one another way to get off campus things. एक बड़ी मछली पकड़ो, ठीक है? So get a bigger man into your picture, get his contacts and just call those persons. So मैंने एक बंदे को पकड़ के रखा था कि in case मेरा placement नहीं होता है. So he gave me a list of founders of like क्लास प्लस टीचमेंट और बहुत सारे एडटेक स्टार्टअप्स प्रिस्टीन केयर वगैरह के फाउंडर्स के नंबर्स दे दिए थे एंड लाइक कीप अगर नहीं होगा then reach out to them, they'll surely give you something. But luckily मेरा हो गया, and like don't ask उनके number from me क्योंकि I have now contacted them for different reasons.
Just one other thing. So, just following up with what Utkarsh said. So, I also had a mentor, right? So, my worst case scenario is, agar if nobody hires me, I can ask him for a job because he's seen my growth and my work through the past 2 years. So, just find somebody like that, and you're like, your worst backup will also not be very bad.
हाँ, so जो मतलब मैं जिसको मछली बोल रहा हूँ, बस श्री उसी को मेंटर बोल रही है, so we mean the same thing. Just clarifying.
Meeting
So
खत्म होने वाली है क्या? Do we not have infinite
like
time?
like most of the questions have been given answered. So we can just see the chat section. What are the doubts so they have posted. So like Prince has posted key how to design a deck, like optimizing all the viable solutions that I want to explain in the deck, and like should it be completely formal or there can be a space of informality in that deck. So maybe Prince, you can just unmute and ask your question. What is your motive behind informal and formal thing in
Utkarsh,
your
let's
deck?
not waste time, right? Because
Achha,
it says over here 5 minutes left in your meeting. I may get interrupted halfway through.
achha.
Prince, to answer your question, I don't think in for like PM decks, as much as I've seen, you will get 5 slides. You will not get even enough space to add your entire solution, let alone add informality. If you're going for a design role, then go ham, dude. Make it fun as much as possible. I add like bitmojis and shit in my this thing. It makes people smile. I add memes. It's great. But for a PM deck, just don't.
Okay, Suyash has asked
Utkarsh, you're
ki
mute.
एक मिनट उत्कर्ष, अपने पास 5 मिनट ही है क्या?
नहीं ऐसा कुछ आई गेस बाउंड तो नहीं है लाइक मुझे
No,
भी
no,
दिखा
भैया,
रहा था
that
अरे मेरे को
was
दिख रहा है ना 5 minutes left in your meeting.
वो
that
I
came
guess
at 4:55.
उन्होंने 1 घंटे का मीटिंग शेड्यूल किया होगा, that's why it is showing.
अच्छा, okay.
यार
I
अपना
hate
कॉलेज
Teams.
इतना भी गरीब नहीं है यार.
Dude, I hate Teams, dude. बहुत PTSD देते हैं यार मेरे को.
हाँ.
Zoom better, Slack better, why? Yeah, sorry, go on.
हाँ भैया
Uh,
like
देखो डेक से रिलेटेड आई वुड जस्ट से वन थिंग कि लाइक हाउ टू मेक अ डेक इज लाइक just I just think how a director makes a movie. A director has got 180 minutes to deliver his thoughts, and as a APM aspirant or character, you have just 5 or 6 slides max to deliver your thoughts. ठीक है, then you have to structure कि तुमको उसको कैसे रखना है. ठीक है, तो like when I made my highlights deck, तो उसमें मैंने ओबामा का भी चेहरा डाल रखा है, just to show कि ओबामा की वजह से यूएस का हेल्थ केयर खराब हो गया. ठीक है, and they then only will get reference. तो यहाँ पे if you consider it as informality, then it is मतलब वो तुम्हारे ऊपर है how you want to show, how you want your thought process to be. मतलब वो exactly पेपर पे तुम्हारा thought process ही दिखना चाहिए, I would say.
Yeah, it's more about the storytelling, whether you categorize it as formal or informal. Also think about, so I mentioned this because I'm a designer. You should also think about this because you're a PM, right? Is user empathy. User कौन है तुम्हारा deck का hiring manager होगा, and hiring you is like the worst tedious job that he has to do. ठीक है, so if make your solution simple so that he can understand it, right? Because they will also have ego issues, right? अगर कुछ कुछ और ही सोच लिया तुमने और इस बंदे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा, he'll be like हट, नहीं चाहिए, right? So think about at what time of the day they'll probably be going through this. My manager goes through it at like random times when he's not in meetings, right? So they have a 5 minute window where they go through your deck and then they shortlist it, right? And 5 minutes of not even full half-assed attention your deck will get. So think about the hierarchy of your deck, what parts of the screen that you want the person to be looking at, and when they do look at it, it should be crisp, understandable, and it should preferably put a smile on their face.
That's
Exactly.
a great take, I would say. Yeah,
ये तो करते हैं
Vidyabhushan bhaiya,
next
you
design.
as well. Uh, would like to say something, and even Divya
No, I
Didi.
think like I won't add anything to deck because they pretty covered everything. So I would say
Dude,
like,
you're used to making like investor pitches, no? It should be. I thought you'll have much more to say because I know that similar hota hai.
similar hota hai, but it is like more pleasing to hiring people, and in my case it is like a completely bit different. So
हाँ,
I
but
would
like you
say
can talk about the format, no?
yes, I would say like I won't talk about format, I would talk about the mentality, just like Siri said ना कि वो चीजें समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि like what are the like who's the target reader of your whatever you are making. So prepare accordingly कि कब टाइम में देखेगा, कितना उनको attention मिलेगा and all. So in my case I would say कुछ चीजें है so I also hire few people also like. तो मैं क्या देखता हूँ ना like take extra step, people love it, reach out to people. जब भी हम लोग इंटरव्यू के लिए like in particularly in off campus, so I hired few people and they are currently like working very well. So कई प्लेटफॉर्म से हमने हायर करने की कोशिश करी and they literally put their resume and सो जाते हैं लोग. And few people take extra step, they ping you across channels, like अगर कहीं दूसरी जगह पे like डाला है तो वो maybe LinkedIn पे connect करेगा, कहीं दूसरी जगह से connect करेगा. So they will try to constantly reach out to you. These kind of people shows extra energy and enthusiasm, और ऐसे लोग like काफी एडवांटेज मिल जाता है इन्हें. So always have that energy कि you will reach out to people, will take extra step to talk, to just show your genuine curiosity. It makes a lot of difference. So
Dude, I don't think they have. If you sit for placements, you can't reach out to the hiring people, no, separately.
Yeah.
not hiring people, I would say like might be मेरा केस थोड़ा डिफरेंट हो सकता है.
Yeah,
Just
please don't
ये
get
भी
cancelled from placements. Read their rules and regulations पहले.
हाँ मतलब off campus के लिए like initial disclaimer was basically off campus. So
हाँ.
reach out to people and show that like you are extra from all this hard of the resumes.
To not get cancelled by campus placements, that's where the personal connections help. Right?
That's a completely different story.
Yeah.
There is one question which Prakhar Rawat has asked. Utkarsh Bhaiya, what all things did you add in your product portfolio?
अच्छा, so product portfolio, देखो, one thing was there कि like किसी ने कुछ समय पहले mention किया था, if someone has, किसी ने बहुत तोड़-फोड़ कर रखा है बहुत चीजें डालने के लिए, ठीक है? So what you can do कि जहाँ पे तुम skills लिखते हो अपने resume का, वहाँ पे एक hyperlink करके portfolio लिख दो और hyperlink करके कर दो कि वो portfolio खोले, अगर तुम अपने resume को और improve करना चाहते हो तो, ठीक है? थोड़ा सा resume and then I'll come to the portfolio thing. And secondly, if you have like many projects जो तुमको display करना ही करना है, क्योंकि तुम 2 से ज्यादा कर नहीं पाओगे, max to max 3, तो achievements वाले section में लिख दो कि winner at this competition और top 10 in this competition, top 20 in this competition, और वहां पे link hyperlink कर दो, ठीक है? इससे क्या होगा कि the person can just click it, open it. For me, जब so मेरा थोड़ा सा different process था कि how I learned to make decks. So जैसे I generally used to go to some competitions which are organized by B schools, E schools. तो फिर वहाँ पे I just used to go in और वहाँ पे product के cases को मैं करते करते ही I got a iterative way और उससे I got a way to make a good deck, ठीक है? And उसमें luckily for some reasons जिसको hard work कहते हैं, we like went into 15 competitions and won 13 competitions. तो उनके जितने भी थे उसको मैंने अपने प्रोडक्ट पोर्टफोलियो में डाल दिया है. ऑल्दो आई हैव नॉट बहुत अच्छे से मैंने डिजाइन नहीं किया बिकॉज आई थिंक कि आई हैव सीन पीपल जो मेरे से जूनियर है उनका पोर्टफोलियो और उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे से डिजाइन करके रखा है. तो मेरा पोर्टफोलियो बस एक नोशन पेज है जहाँ पे कॉलेज नेम या कंपनी नेम, मेरा पोजीशन, आउट ऑफ कितने और लिंक ऐसे पड़ी हुई है और मेरे बारे में कुछ कुछ लिखा हुआ है और उसको मैंने रेज्यूमे पे डाल रखा है. सो कीप योर प्रोजेक्ट्स इन देयर.
Notion actually works the best. It's easy to use. You can customize it as good as possible. Even like despite I'm a designer, I don't have like my own website. Mera bhi it's also a Notion page, and that honestly works. It's an industry standard.
I would also suggest Notion. Adding to like Utkar's point, कि linking to URLs, मेरे टाइम में भी लोग बातें करते थे कि whether it's good idea to hyperlink your certain part or not. I would say it makes sense to show authenticity. So recently I was doing some conversation with people like what gonna be the future of job. So whenever like as particularly in off campus people want to see what are your like previous work experience and all. So in future also like whenever people are hiring na, like they will want some token of trust you are showing or not, like तो future में भी job is gonna be the same. जैसे कि अगर like developers है so they have like proof of work is like the GitHub account कि कितना PR merge किया कितना किया. So in the same way for all kind of job roles in future will shift toward like having a work of proof, like proof of work. So hyperlinking your work shows authenticity as per my view. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. So I think if you have some sort of proof of work or authenticity to add, just do it. Cool. Anyone else?
So, like Aman is asking, could you all just share your portfolios link or resume so that they can get the inspiration?
I'm not sharing mine because you can't send that for placements, but the other guys can.
Yeah,
I'll
so
share it to someone. Maybe you can forward it amongst yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will just reach you out after the session and just we'll share the link to all the participants.
Cool.
Okay, so I guess most of the queries have been answered. So is there anyone you just put out to put on?
Look,
Maybe like
just
for
I'll add one thing. Just one more thing. If anyone doesn't has a question,
I have a question.
पूछ ले.
Right. So, actually, I dropped this in the chat as well. So, I wanted to understand. So, basically, with regards to like these APM decks, how important is like system design or like technical background of your solution as to how they'll be implemented? And are there any resources to understand how these systems work and yeah, just to become better at that?
Okay, I'll go first. So I think for Flipkart, especially talking about my deck, they don't expect you to have a system design knowledge. And if you add it, it is better. It is, I mean, but the evaluation comes after your other decks and solution, right? How you have defined your problem and how you have approached it, and only at the end comes the system design part. So that being said, if you want to learn about system design, there is this playlist by Gaurav Sen, which is a good playlist that connects system design things.
I'll just add on that. देखो सिस्टम डिजाइंस का जो क्वेश्चन होता है ये पीएम का ही क्वेश्चन होता है, लेकिन एपीएम का क्वेश्चन नहीं होता है. ये जब तुम इन केस कभी सीनियर पीएम रोल के लिए अप्लाई करोगे या पीएम रोल के लिए सीनियर पीएम के लिए अप्लाई करोगे, देन यू आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू नो सिस्टम डिजाइन. ठीक है. Although technical things and system design are two different ball games. ठीक है. You are expected to know at least some technical thing. जैसे कि अगर वो एक टेक पीएम रोल है तो तुमको पता होना चाहिए कि एक जनरल फ्लो क्या है जहाँ से किसी चीज को हम लोग बना सकते हैं, और अगर डेटा पीएम रोल है तो तुमको डेटा के बारे में कुछ नॉलेज होनी चाहिए. ठीक है. सो दिस इज समथिंग. ऑल्दो अगर तुम सिस्टम डिजाइन डाल पा रहे हो, ठीक है, देन दिस इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट थिंग्स आई वुड से इन योर डेक में. ठीक है. अगर कहीं से तुमको मिल जा रहा है कि सिस्टम डिजाइन कैसे इसका काम कर रहा है तो डाल दो. एंड उसके लिए तुमको सब चीज पता होना जरूरी नहीं है, जितना तुम डाल रहे हो बस उतना ही पता चल जाए, देन दैट वर्क्स. क्योंकि इफ समटाइम यू विल सी माय हाई लैब्स डेक, तो उसमें मैंने हाई लैब्स का सिस्टम डिजाइन डाल के रखा है, मतलब मेरे सॉल्यूशन का. ठीक है. तो दैट इज वेरी टेक हैवी सिस्टम डिजाइन. तो हाउ आई गॉट इट, मैंने एक रूम में दिवाली की रात में एक रूम में 2 डेटा साइंटिस्ट और एक एसडी अपने दोस्त को बैठाया, बोला कि भाई मैं ये बना रहा हूँ, अब बना के दे. दे सेड कि यार ये इम्पॉसिबल है. देन आई ब्रॉट इन अ केक एंड एवरीवन मेड द सिस्टम डिजाइन एंड आई पेस्टेड ऑन माय डेक. ठीक है. एंड लर्नड हाउ दिस इज पॉसिबल.
Adding to that, like whatever I would say is completely irrelevant of placement process. So it is based on like whatever you gonna work on in future. So having a system design knowledge will always help you. Will give you some confidence while you are giving some solutions. So like you are suggesting मैं ऐसा कुछ थर्मस बना दूंगा जिससे कि like कुछ अलग ही बवंडर हो जाएगा. So it is always better if you have little bit understanding of how tech works, so that you can be confident while proposing some solution. Although it is not required, but like just एक दो वीडियो देख लो यार, like एक दो YouTube पे पड़े हुए हैं, just have it like normal time में जब भी देखते हो देख लो. It will give you some structure of like thoughts कि टेक का जब बनाना होगा एग्जीक्यूशन पार्ट में तो कैसे हम करेंगे. Why I'm saying this is recently the like new recently like एक company ने I guess I don't know the name, they converted all their PM into more different kind of role, I guess marketing and other people into
PM.
like PM roles.
Airbnb.
Airbnb, yes.
Airbnb. So the new trend is like so like let me tell you why the PM role was generated sort of. So there is a leadership team, there's a founders and other leadership team. They need some sort of insights on which they can either improve retention, either enhance the business or all the business parameter. So they made a position of product manager who will go through all the data and all the custom insights and generate some actionable insights, right? Actionable insight word is very important. So on based of that actionable insight that you as a product manager or APM will figure out will help the actually company to grow. So in current trend or shift of PM role, I would say, or PM or like a cluster of PM related role, people expecting more you to have like execution kind of a mindset. So you will bring some insights and you will also think in direction of execution also. So in that direction, I would say like having a system design thing will help you, and having the execution wala mindset will help you. It is completely irrelevant to like interview process, I would say.
Okay, thank you so much for answering. And I had like one follow-up on this. So basically, so with regards to like designing decks, what are some things that we can do like maybe like periodically to become better at designing decks?
Sri is the best.
Bro, what you can... Hi Suyesh, first of all, how are you?
Hello, all good, all good. How are you?
Relaxing. Yeah, how to make good decks. I'll give you like both decks and mock interviews. I'll tell you something that worked for me is because I didn't have any like pure mock interviews, right? I think the major pitfall when it comes to what do I say, doing pure mock interviews is that your friends don't have the same metrics to gauge you upon as, let's say, hiring managers, right? So like a very interesting and probably also brute force thing, like reckless thing that I did was apply to internships when I know I didn't want an internship, and I used those like professional interviews as like mocks for the actual companies that I wanted to get into, right? So I think like March, almost every day I'll be like, hey dude, I have an interview, I'm going to use it as a mock for the company that I already want to. So that'll so based on whether you get selected or rejected or even like get feedback from your interviewer, you'll get like a good idea of what the industry standard is, right? So that is for interview. um, Decks also very similarly, right? It's like very experimental. You have to ask a lot of people what works, and you have to also find out for yourself that what works for you, right? For standard decks, I'd say it's mostly like you'll find like a very similar template from all the resources that Utkarsh and Divya and all have suggested, right? So I'd suggest at least for the initial stages, stick to that. If you have something on your own which could like add a little bit of sparkle or more sprinkle on top of a cake sort of a thing, then definitely go for it. You'll definitely get brownie points. One do not thing that I wanted to mention here upright is don't copy from ChatGPT, guys. Like legit 2 weeks ago, my manager found some guy who like ऐसे ChatGPT से छाप दिया hiring assignment में, and he got rejected because of that. Okay, so like you can get your ideas from ChatGPT, cross validate, get any sort of like qualitative data that you want from there, but make the solution your own ultimately.
मतलब she's telling get an idea from ChatGPT and put it on a rephrase website, paraphrase wala, and then put it on your
Assignment.
deck.
Yes.
Adding to that, I would add like have like go through the prompt engineering part. Like it will be a cherry on cake sort of.
Dude,
देख
no, but
लो.
I think the worst, like the problem with ChatGPT is that it gives you solutions, but uske पीछे वाले like user stories नहीं देता है, so you can't really validate if it's a real problem or not. So yeah, I mean
Not
that's me
particularly,
coming
yes.
from like a UX background. I'm saying that I'm not sure how it works for PM though.
Got it. But particularly, I would say not exactly ChatGPT, but learn like prompt engineering sort of prompt engineering more about how you would structure prompt to get the desired result. So it will help you personally a lot.
There are multiple people taking courses on these. No, are they worth it?
Yeah, I would say like I did one course of 1 hour of NG Andrew. Like it was pretty
Acha.
much basic, and but like I can get a basic understanding of how actually it works and how people can get to the actual answers, like how people can get the desired output.
So yes,
अच्छा,
does
एक
that
और
answer your question?
एक और
Yeah, that
चीज की
answers that.
what I heard from many seniors कि if you want to like make the best deck, just do कि see the decks of many winners of the competitions जो कि like PM school या फिर किसी B school के competitions ने like post किया होगा अपने let's say LinkedIn पे, और उनका just kind of कि उसको साइड में रख के अपना से उसके कॉपी टाइप बना देने और बस उसको आइटरेट करते रहने, इसको और ज्यादा डिटेल करते रहने। ये मैंने किया और मतलब इसका फायदा दिखा। देख कोई विनर का देख उठा, उसको कॉपी मार दो और जैसे जैसे उसने डिटेल में लिखा है वो लिख दो, बस कंटेंट अपना होना चाहिए।
ये किस समझदार
See,
इंसान ने तुम्हें
again,
सजेशन दिया है?
नाम तो नहीं लूंगा।
नहीं, ले
अरे चल, not take it. I would say like if you're complete beginner and just want the direction, then probably it might work. But if you really want to make difference, then I don't think it will work. But I think Utkarsh and Divya can
see,
answer it.
I'd say that's a very roundabout way, right? The best way to do it is, as I mentioned, just find hold of like some guy who hires other people and be like, हाँ बताओ तुमको क्या चाहिए? What do you expect of me? So that would be the easiest way to do it. I was fortunate enough to make friends who would tell me what to do. But this is like a very roundabout way to do desk research, is what I'd say. But I think Divya and Utkarsh will be able to answer much better.
देखो, to whoever has said you this, I think the person has said it right. ठीक है? And this happens. देखो, you'll get, suppose you're sitting in an examination, ठीक है? And every student is sitting. One writes खुद से and the second one दूसरे का देख के. But the दूसरे का देख के वाला wins the examination because it's a competitive examination. What you will tell to yourself? कि यार I was a good person, morally, ethically very strong, but still I lost. ठीक है? Races are not won like this. मतलब if you want to like win, like what Shri is telling is one of the best things which I also resonate with कि just understand what the hiring manager wants. ठीक है? In campus hires you cannot get the numbers of the hiring managers, लेकिन still you can sometimes sense it what they want. ठीक है? So and you can deliver that on your deck. ठीक है?
Guys, one thing. So, since you can't get the numbers of the hiring manager in placement season, right? Do it before the placement season starts. अभी आज जाके DM करो लोगों को. Flipkart, if like whatever company that you want, target those last year placements से जो भी आए. Ask them on LinkedIn कि hey, I'd like to apply to your company in the future. Tell me what you want, right? So they can't legally sue you because the like opening खुली नहीं है अब तक. Divya, you're muted. फिर से.
Smart move.
But also there is sometimes when you do not know what exactly a company is coming for products, so that may not always work. But yeah, but I think you can actually see the previous years how the seniors have been placed, so you can ask them. Yeah, because you were telling.
नहीं, I have pretty much covered it. So मतलब just play your game. अगर तेरे को जैसे खेलना है खेल, बस at the end of the game don't sell कि यार वो cheating कर रहा था, वो ऐसा कर रहा था, वो ऐसे कर रहा था. Doesn't counts. मतलब everyone has the same opportunities. ठीक है? But if you have done your research good, मतलब लोगों को मैं देखता हूँ कि जब डेक बनाने बैठते हैं तो सबसे पहले लैपटॉप खोल के बैठते हैं डेक बनाने के लिए. ठीक है? At least for a PM deck उसके पीछे का एक रिसर्च होना चाहिए कि व्हाट यू वांट टू पुट, हाउ यू वांट टू पुट. ठीक है? तो अगर तुम उसको अच्छे से रिसर्च कर रखे होगे तो तुमको पता होगा कि व्हाट द हायरिंग मैनेजर वांट्स. केस क्लोज्ड.
I guess, or could doubts your question? नहीं तो फिर 5:35 पे I guess we can end it.